Atomic structure. In this worksheet, you're going to fill in the blanks in the data table based on information that you get from the periodic table of elements. So if you don't have a periodic table at this point, make sure you do get one because you will need it for this worksheet. Let's go through the example together. Here's nitrogen, and if you have any part of this information, you can fill in the rest of it based on information from the periodic table. So nitrogen, if I look at the information for nitrogen, let me put this here and then I'm going to zoom in on nitrogen. Alright, so let me move this down so we can see the labels, and then here's nitrogen down at the bottom of your screen. So in nitrogen I can see the atomic number, shows atomic number is the top number, the symbol is N, the atomic mass is right here, and then its name is nitrogen. So the atomic number is 7. So for atomic number, I put 7. And of course you can see the symbol is N. The mass number is the same as the atomic mass rounded to the nearest whole number. So remember, atomic mass is the number down at the bottom under the symbol. So for nitrogen, that's going to be 14.007 to get the mass number. I round this to the nearest whole number. 14.0 rounds to 14. And that's why I have a mass number of 14 here. The number of protons is the same as the atomic number. The atomic number always tells you the number of protons. I cannot stress this enough. The atomic number is always the number of protons. So if you know the number of protons, then you know what element you have, because all you have to do is look up the atomic number. 7 protons will always be nitrogen. Now the mass number, as you can see here, there's a little equal sign and a plus, because the mass number is equal to the protons plus the neutrons. Protons and neutrons are the parts of the atom in the nucleus that are large enough to add to this mass number. Electrons, which are going to be over here on the right hand side, electrons are so small that they don't add to this mass. So we need our protons and neutrons to add up to 14. In this case, we know 7 are protons because the atomic number is 7. So 7 plus 7 equals 14. In this case, the number of protons and neutrons ends up the same. That's not always true, so be careful. Don't just fill in the same number for protons and neutrons on these, because oftentimes they're not the same. So look at your number of protons and make sure that protons and neutrons combined add to the mass number. If our mass number had been 15, we would have had 8 neutrons here, because 7 plus 8 is 15. So use your periodic table to fill that part in. When you get to electrons, the number of electrons will be the same as protons for this worksheet. The reason why, these are all talking about neutral atoms, elements. All right, so let me pan back out here. So for each of these elements, we're going to have an equal number of protons and electrons, because protons are positive and electrons are negative, and they need to cancel each other out, because 7 positives and 7 negatives equals up to 0, no charge. So protons, electrons will be equal. Protons and neutrons most likely won't be. Only in a few cases will they be. If you still have any questions, please feel free to come ask.